Thing up. I gotta load it all up, Joe.
What's that noise?
Something's ringing on your computer.
Oh shit! Hold on. Give me a second, man.
There we go.
All right.
Joe's with us.
Oh, we're live. All right. Congratulations.
Yeah, we're live.
Looks like we got everybody here today.
All right, I'm opening up some stories. I don't see any.
Got?
I don't know what you got, but I got some stuff.
Well, we'll just riff on your stuff today.
Yeah. All right. Well, I don't know if I have enough. So we'll see what happens. Have a nice, clean, simple, short broadcast if we have to, but we can always dive into our tools, right?
Look, do we ever have a shortage of shit to talk about?
No. All right, what's the market doing after yesterday, Joe?
Figured you would ask that right away. I was looking earlier, and I've been scrambling the last 2 hours, but it looked like, obviously some sell-off yesterday. I think I saw BTC at like
20,261 right now.
Still there? All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's where it was earlier. Let me look at the markets themselves. Not too bad of selling there.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, there's some, but
BNB's up 3.3% again.
Let me see what Nikkei looks like tonight. A little bit off, nothing major. It looks like same old, same old. It looks like it absorbed everything.
Yeah.
So,
what happens if the economy doesn't go in a recession? Just permanent inflation?
No, everything you look at has all the inflation tipping over. Just look at the 2-year expectation on inflation. I think it's 2.9%, next year in the 5% range. So again, I'm talking US. So obviously others have a lot more to deal with. For now, but look, it'll come out of it. This is just a dynamic with interest rate differentials and capital flight. But look, if the U.S. was raising interest rate and the stock market was tanking, 2008 type stuff, that would have catastrophic consequences for everybody else too.
Sure.
So it's kind of like we're all taking our medicine at the same time. But the sequence I see is whatever happens in Europe this winter, related to energy and energy prices and the Ukraine-Russia conflict. That's a big driver there. That's near term. I think the U.S. issue is more end of second quarter 23 as to what happens there. But, all the forward-looking data shows inflation, falling off, basically. So I'm not as worried about that. What I'm just worried about is the repricing I'm just worried about all the rate repricing, so what that does to algorithms, and how people value things. That's my biggest concern. But I don't see a lot of issues there yet. So
awesome.
Fingers crossed.
Phantom.
Of course, I've been watching that, dude. Yeah.
You know why?
Spirit, Phantom, Geist, all cranking. Why?
Well, do you know why Phantom's cranking?
No, tell me. I'm curious.
Because people are too stupid to learn from the last time they got fucked over. Well, this is what I'm being told. The reason it's pumping is Andre Cronje updated his LinkedIn profile to vice president of memes at the Phantom Foundation. Or memes at the Phantom Foundation. So everyone got excited. Everyone got excited that Andre was back and pumped it almost 19%. And
it's funny because, look, I saw all the movement in Geist and in Spirit Swap before that announcement. That's what kind of got me looking over there the last 2 days because Geist has gone up like 300% in a matter of days. So I was trying to figure out what was going on there, and then I saw Phantom going with it, but I didn't know this had happened.
Yeah. So we're, that whole chain is basing its pump on Andre, I guess. I don't know. Phantom also yesterday announced that they're going into beta now with their incentives program on Gitcoin. So that's good news. My question was, yeah, look, TVL's up too. 3.46%. Up to 560 million for Phantom on the chain. So, you know, oh, did we lost Joe again?
No, I'm here. I just
okay.
Electronics are going off for some reason everywhere. TV's turning on independently. I must be haunted.
Look at that. TVL on Spirits up 11.79%. Liquid up 11.72%.
Geist.
Everything's
Geist right there.
1.96% up TVL. Spooky's up 7.75%. Beefy's up 4.1%. Beethoven TVL's up 6.86%.
Does it say 164% for the 1 month change on Geist?
It does.
Okay, cool. That's why I couldn't quite see it.
Yeah. 90.96 million in there.
So it looks like there's capital rotation going into the Phantom chain, clearly.
Which I'm happy to see.
I think people look at it and they go, if Near's worth $2.5 billion, they got nothing going on. And Phantom's worth 500 million, and they've got stuff going on. I think it's just natural to go, oh wait, we should rotate some capital in there. And hopefully that's happening. But
so my buddy Nick Dracon said
$2.5 billion. Does it go up 5x? That's $1.
Nah. Nick Dracon said, don't get fooled by these shenanigans. It's common knowledge by now that Andre did not go anywhere and has been part of the decisions made by the foundation all year. Getting bullish on this fluff in this environment is very dangerous. Be careful out there, folks. I totally agree. And I had heard last week that he's still involved in the board and making decisions on votes coming through. What you got going over there, dude? I'm hearing like you're chopping carrots or something.
Oh, there's some noise outside. Some yard people.
Okay. All right.
I can't.
Euphoric says Mask is now up 300% on the week, and RSS3 looks good too. Sean said, if you are in this shitcoin pump, you are the exit liquidity, not financial advice, of course. And then Euphoric said Joe is being trolled by the lawnmower man.
Exactly. It's like, give me a tip. When moon? No hablo español.
Look, so first I want to talk about Andre Cronje. And I did plenty of rants about him when he exited everything, took the money and ran. And I don't mean that from the perspective of a rug pull. He didn't do anything like that. He took his money and ran. But when he did, he fucked over the whole community because of the way he did it and because of the way he announced it. And he's brilliant. Don't get me wrong. I know he's brilliant technologist. I know he's fantastic from that perspective. But if you're basing your investments on that man's involvement with Phantom, you're going to get burned again. And that's, I don't have any faith in him to do the right thing because he's done the wrong thing multiple times. Again, I don't mean wrong like fraudulent or criminal or anything like that. I just mean the way he treated the community. Like a huge part of the reason Phantom's TVL is as low as it is that man. So.
Well, look, one man does not a protocol make, obviously. And, look, they got stuff going on. I mean, look, everybody's exit liquidity right now. And when I say that Phantom's moving, that doesn't mean throw the house in and leave it there forever. The people who get burned by people like Andre Cronje or whatever the fuck his name is, they're the ones that come in and buy it and hold it forever. This is like the people that jumped into Olympus. Yep. Got their asses handed to them and then blame one guy for dumping. Well, that's the real world. People sell. So, don't believe any of these people. I mean,
Well, and it's not even for him selling. It's the way he abandoned the project, like all of his projects, and told everyone he was just leaving, and didn't let them know that there were people that were building these projects still. He's just, you know, it was just a dick
just
move.
A flake, man.
Yeah.
No, but look, these are, you know, I don't want to.
I'm
no doctor, but you know, look,
Yeah.
we talk about who are the lead entrepreneurs in this space, and you have to know what their personalities are. You know, their personalities are not nuanced.
Exactly.
They're not subtle. They just make and break panic runs all the time. So if you're going to accept the brilliance of it, then you got to like kind of look over your shoulder a lot for this type of behavior with anybody.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. No, I totally agree.
You know what I mean? I mean, I remember you covered this a lot, but I can't remember. I know he was around sushi for a while. And then which one of the big rebasing ones was he in?
No, he did some shit with Wonderland. He was doing a whole project with Wonderland and Mim and all of that shit. So
that's
anyway,
right. I kind of wasn't sure if Sesta was on that too. I just get them all mixed up. But
you know, look, bottom line is it's insane that people are pumping because, you know, a fucking guy changes his title on LinkedIn to memes for the foundation. It's just gonna get burned again, people.
Look, you know, but look, you don't hold. Okay. So Phantom, let's just take the example of Phantom that Brad's talking about. That was at 20 cents, I think, you know, a couple of days ago. And now it's at what, 23, 24, something like that.
26.
26. All right. So if you came in at 20, you know, I mean, hopefully, you know, whatever you put in, it was probably, if you just jumped in, then you hopefully just did the 25% move at that point. But if you didn't, then, you know, you pick an exit. You know, if it gets to 40 cents, like you're going to sell 20% of the position, you know, do things like that. So you take the money off. And
solidly. That's Eamon's right. Solidly. Yeah, that was his project. That was the other one he bailed on.
Oh, got it. Okay. But yeah, if you play it smart, you know, we always talk about Ponzonomics. Okay. And, you know, look, we know a lot of these aren't sustainable, but if you're in early, and you sell, you can make money off of the momentum trend. All right. Yeah. So when we talk about things like this is what we're talking about. But you know, I really don't come in and hold anything for the long haul. You know, I mean, absolutely. I have no conviction like that. I just basically, when it moves, start selling parts of it to get my stuff off the table and look for something else. I'm sure other people do better than me, but I don't ever get caught holding a big goose egg either.
Yep.
So I'm smart. Just see what's going on. Where's the money going, and try to get in front of it before it gets there. If it's already there, you know, don't chase.
Euphoric wanted to clarify for you that he meant Lawnmower Man, the film that was setting off your electronics. I vaguely remember seeing that movie, but that's what I have on screen right now is Lawnmower Man, the movie.
I don't know if I've actually seen that.
I don't think I have either.
Is it like a Jesus-y thing?
Well, it looks like a Jesus-y thing, but it says it's about computer science.
Oh, wait, that's
taking over. Simple Man is turned into a genius through the application of computer science. Yeah, I don't think we have that problem here.
No. I mean, unless you want your legendary Pascal hacker here, you know, from the 80s. Just give me my print cards and I'm good to go.
Yeah.
Or what were those punch cards?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yesterday, while promising that Solana would not have to be rebooted ever again after the end of this year, 1,000 Solana validators went offline because Hetzner blocked access to any blockchain projects. Hetzner, a hosting company that we use that for some of our stuff at Material Indicator. So we're actually in the middle of moving off of there as well. Hetzner has decided they are anti anything crypto blockchain. And so they're blocking anything that happens. And they announced it, I don't know, month and a half ago. And 20 to 25% of Solana's validators didn't bother to move their nodes somewhere else. So 1,000 validators went offline.
Wait, so where are these guys located? Where is Hetzner?
Europe, Germany, something.
Germany.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they would take such a stance like this.
Like total like dick stance too. They're not even like, they just started shutting people down when they announced it. So it's like, they're total dicks. So
what is this, Alameda?
Oh yeah, so there was a I had this tweet loaded up yesterday, and I forgot to load it up. But evidently, like a huge chunk of Alameda's entire fund of $14.7 billion is held in FTT, the sister company, FTX token. So a lot of people are saying that from the analysis that was done, that that Alameda could actually go under here. It won't take much for them to shit the bed.
How much of their 14 billion is in FTT?
Let me find the. Let me see if I can find the thread.
Yeah. Because that's not good. Sorry, man. That sounds like a little over concentration in that portfolio, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one thing you don't want to do is end up with most of it in one thing.
They have 14.6 billion of assets against 8 billion of liability, but of those assets, 3.66 billion are FTT the token, and 2.16 billion is FTT as collateral. So essentially, that puts them at 6 billion less. So
wait, so
that drops them to 8 billion of assets to 8 billion of liabilities. 3.37 billion is in Sol. 863 million is locked Sol, and 134 million USD, 2 billion in equity securities. So essentially, of the 14.6 billion in assets, they have 11, 12 billion locked into FTT or Sol.
Yeah. I mean, we don't know what FTT, I mean, I don't know what it is, but we don't know what FTT's balance sheet looks like either, do we?
Well, FTT is FTX, the exchange, right? So they're both owned by Sam. I mean, Alameda and FTX are owned by Sam. Right. And it's like BNB. It's a token that, is used for fees on the exchange. And, I think they have a burn mechanism as well, et cetera, et cetera. So, and Sean says FTT is too illiquid if they need to cover their liability.
There you go. That's what I'm getting at right there.
Yeah.
Because look, you can't sell that position.
Right.
You will destroy FTT.
Yep.
And your stuff that's locked, we don't know what the collateral stuff. I'm presuming that means that they have it posted at, somewhere where they're getting yield on it or borrowed against, like an Aave type thing, a lending protocol.
Yeah.
And so if whatever they borrowed and put that into is underwater too, then you have some potential cascading problems there. And what I said about FTT, nothing against Sam, your buddy Sam, but it's that,
No, that's Sam Bankman-Fried, not my buddy. Not my buddy. He's the guy that's also trying to fuck us with regulators.
Yeah, I know. I was joking. Obviously, everybody knows you've been going after him for a couple of days.
Gotcha.
But no, I mean, we don't know what, he's going around buying shit like Voyager and doing all this other stuff. We don't really know what
he has.
His portfolio, and it hasn't been stress tested either. So, what if he's sitting there with still shit on the books that hasn't been marked down and it's in something like Terra? I mean, I don't know, not that, but I'm just picking one, where there's no mark to market rules here. So we don't know what the value is of the underlying holdings. At least I don't. I mean,
what he's saying, what Leclerc is saying is that you couldn't sell 1 million of this without
tanking the whole price.
Tanking the price. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're fucked. So what this means now is anybody now, you'll see like the other, the private equity and venture funds.
Yeah, going after
they're going to go after this now because they have real world assets back.
Kick them out.
Cash.
Yeah.
So you go in and you dump 1 million FTT on the market right away if you're the acquiring company and tank the token price and then swoop in with the big buy offer. I mean,
well, and here's
what happen next.
Here's the other thing it does. Like look at this. When he's trying to buy Voyager, Alameda owes Voyager 376 million. But here's the other thing it does. They can't go into any of these bankruptcy courts now and say, hey, we want to buy this. right? I mean, maybe they can buy it with flat out cash, but it kills your credibility in these deals, in these negotiations.
For the acquisition of the distressed
Yeah,
asset,
because he's been talking about going in to buy up these distressed properties, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know if it looks like you're in distress and could go under any minute. The bankruptcy courts may not be excited about you buying up.
No, I think you're probably right. I think, look, the play here is someone coming from TradFi or fiat with a big bankroll, that wants to make a splash in crypto. This is, you pull in some of these activist investor guys, this is like a KKR type play where, you come in with, okay, we got 10 billion in cash. Who wants to play? Oh yeah, that token, that's worth like 5% of what you're marking it at. We'll give you 2 cents.
Right.
That's the way you play this game now. And then all of a sudden, somebody like a Blackstone, BlackRock, KKR, and pick another private equity fund is, sitting at the top of the heap.
Yep.
And, you want to talk about manipulating value. And I don't mean that in a negative way, a criminal way. I mean, just in a, co-branding way. I mean, that's the way you do it.
Yep.
I think you're right. I don't think FTX can pull this stuff off anymore. I think they're too leveraged at this point.
Yeah. Sean says they have about 170 million in cash. And he says, this is Alameda and FTX is a different entity. Yeah. Right. They're sister companies, but obviously highly interlinked, independent to some extent. What was it? What did I just see a second ago? Reported assets, 5.82 billion of FTT, and FTT's current market cap is 3.35 billion. So getting your cash out, not very realistic at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, this is the problem when liquidity get in any. I mean, this was sort of if everybody remembers from the ways back, the long-term capital credit play in the U.S. when it was one of the first hedge fund type plays, and it got to where it was owning like 95% of the positions on both sides of the order book.
Yeah.
And going under, and it's impossible to get out of that situation unless some material event occurs that changes all the dynamics. So you get kind of maneuvered into a corner where all of a sudden everything is a huge long bet instead of like kind of you could trade in and out. And now when you have no exit liquidity, it's sort of like when real estate in 2008. Condos were 550 grand one week, and the next week they were 150 grand because there were no buyers. So, if there's no buyers, what happens to the price? It just plummets.
Yep.
So I would keep an eye on these guys, FTX, FTT, all of them that are purely just in a crypto cycle of assets, because you need something sort of stabilizing these funds.
99% of FTT is held by the top 1% of addresses, of which the largest holder is a hedge fund, Alameda Research, whose VC arm recently merged with FTX. So they're like so intertwined. That's can
you short FTX anywhere?
Probably. You mean FTT? Probably on FTX. Sorry. I don't know. Niblet says, how often do investors go back into a project that was high then fell versus just looking for new projects?
I think it's on the mandate of the fund. There are like the turnaround guys, the ones that can kind of come in and, squeeze all the last juice out of something and, throw a bunch of new models up and sell and get the money back. There's those guys that look for a value buy. I mean, it just depends. I mean, that's like, Buffett's whole strategy, but not the ones in the shitter. He likes the stuff that's just a little bit undervalued, and then you hold it for the long. It has some other intangibles. So I would say it's pretty mixed. I myself like the early stage stuff because, of course, there's a lot of failures in that space, but it's where you really get to meet the entrepreneurs that have new ideas and new concepts and new models and help them get to the next point. Versus, a kind of harvest play on a, legacy old tech sort of bottom feeding opportunity. That's just not my style. But, there's a lot out there for $10 billion,
I would say, I still think there's a tremendous roll-up opportunity in this space. And so, and I also think here's an example, one that crashed and burned, and of late, and I'm diving more into some research that I pulled up a few days ago. Just haven't had time to do it. I think I say this every show.
Iron Finance.
Olympus DAO has actually been making a lot of very responsible adult-like moves. And I'm not going to try to climb into it right now because I don't know enough about it yet. But somebody I spoke to the other day was very excited about what's going on with Ohm. And then I read a tweet thread about how they're still maintaining their liquidity, et cetera, et cetera. Anyway, I think that's actually an example of a project with enough big brains and a dedicated enough core community that merits a second examination. One that they're not paying out. I think the APY now is like 4 to 6%, somewhere in there. The whole model has shifted for them. So I think there's some opportunities there. I also know that Olympus does a shit ton of work with Frax, and that they partner up a lot in the same projects. So my answer to Niblets is I think there are opportunities for some of these projects to recover. Now, it's a lot harder to come back from it, but my look is there a core concept that makes sense? Is there a core team that stayed around? Are they really smart? Are they determined to innovate? Are they determined to build and grow? And is there a core community still supporting, still holding, still building, still evangelizing the project? If those things are all there, I give them a look. I'm not saying you should, but I definitely give them a look. So that's one I would look at. Look, there's a lot of people that are giving up on Phantom. I still think there's a ton of promise with the folks that are in that space. So, we'll see. Euphoric, I'm in profit by Ohm. It's the only rebase token that made me any. Nice. That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, I think that, look, we've talked a lot about, I think you introduced me to Ohm, but you've talked a lot about, when we talked a lot about, what they do after the raise. And so to me, you look at Ohm, look at the other ones. Who else is left from that mess? Clima's one. You look at what they're going to do next. I mean, I think the whole thing about Ohm that was interesting was that if they could execute post-raise with that war chest to do really interesting things. And I haven't been keeping up with them, so I don't know what they've done or what their plan is. But the fact that they're still around and not throwing in the towel and quitting like half these people, to me, is a good sign.
Yeah.
I don't know, what is it at right now? Like $10, $8, $20?
No. Where's my drops tab? Let's go over here. Whoops. Let's see. There's Ohm, $9.83.
Okay. Yeah, so I would really look at what their execution plan is. Because I'm not in it at all. So if you're going in new, I would look at that. If you have a position that's underwater, and you believe in that execution plan, then I might DCA a little bit at this point.
Yeah, I would. I mean, I personally would, but I wouldn't advise anybody else to do it. And
these are just the options
you got to decide.
Yeah. Your option at this point, if you bought it, what was that one up at like 8,000, or was that just time? Where was Ohm at the top? Was it 1,000 or was it 8,000? Wherever it was. Okay, you're down. So if you didn't liquidate, you kept holding, you're still there. You're not going to sell now. It's just like, what's the point? You already lost it all. So, your options at this point would be dump it or add to the position.
1,600.
Okay. So that wasn't as bad as, say, time. So, look at this one. I mean, if I'm in and I already have a chunk, I am looking to DCA if I'm confident what they're going to do.
Yeah.
But, look at that flat line there. I mean, on your chart, that's not reassuring.
Well, that's all time. I mean, this is zoom in. This is 1 month.
What's the volume? What do we have?
1.03 million.
That's okay.
Market cap 283 million. There's all-time high. Duh.
Yeah, everybody's got to make their own decisions. Personally, if I'm not in it, I'm not getting in it at this point because I just don't know enough about them.
Well, and like what Sean says, market still has lots of leverage in it. If we go pop, we can still go a long, long way. Stay safe. And I agree with him. There's a shit ton of leverage that's going to cascade again because people are fucking idiots.
Well, everybody's trying to figure out the bottom and make a big move at that point. Well, you can't figure it out. Okay.
But
So
do it
whatever
without
moves you
fucking
make-
leverage. I know you
Yeah.
want to get filthy rich, but you also can get filthy fucking poor.
Right.
and you know, continually betting and losing on leverage is just fucking stupid. Sorry.
Well, look, no, you're right. I mean, I was actually thinking about, experimenting in some of that too. But, where leverage works best in this perps and all of that is when you already have a stack.
Yeah,
and you're
right.
protecting
When you
it.
don't care about losing it, and it's
You just
play
short,
money,
you just
go fucking
straddle
do it.
Long
Yeah,
and
have
short all
fun.
the fucking time, man. You don't ever lose.
But don't make bets that are going to fucking take down the whole market either, right? If you're one of those big players,
Right.
You have a responsibility at some point to realize, oh fuck, if I get liquidated, this entire project's done, right?
Yeah.
Sean says, wait for the bottom, buy on the way up. You will still print a Lambo or two. And Sean is setting up a Twitter profile where he's going to announce the bottom for everybody.
Nice.
Yeah, we're all going to get an alert. We're all going to buy in and forever be grateful to Sean for saving our lives and make us generationally wealthy.
Yeah. But look, if you don't...
I'm joking. Sean is not giving financial advice.
He would never pick the exact bottom. That's... Yeah.
No.
Anybody that knows Brad knows he's teasing there.
Yeah.
But look, when I don't know, if you follow basic kind of the strategies that I talk a lot about, where let's say you're sitting here and you got 10 grand and you're trying to figure out the Bitcoin bottom because you want to place it in Bitcoin. Well, the first thing you do is break it into 4 chunks. Okay. 2,500 each in my mind. That's what I do. And then if I'm like, this is pretty close to the bottom, this might be within 10% of the bottom. If you think that, plop in a quarter of that, pop in the 2,500, right, and then wait and see what happens. If it goes down to from where it is now to 17 and a half, I would pull another 25% in. And, you got 2 more slugs then in case it does a 13 or whatever.
Right.
So, and then if it starts going up, it's at 22, 21. I don't, unless you see a lot of other stuff, I don't know if I chase it. I might still wait. But, if you can live off of, that 10 turning into 6 for a little while or something like that, then maybe you do buy in some more on the way up. But
Sean said, haha, simple. J-Pal will tell you when.
J-Pal in the house.
Shizzy says, make me rich, Sean. Make me rich. And then
Shizzy's always cleaning up out there, man. I see him just killing it on Twitter.
Yeah, and this is my comment of the day. Brad's dry humor is practically Canadian.
Eh?
I fucking love it. I've never been called Canadian before, but I proudly accept that. Thank you.
Well, awesome. You usually pull out your Canada hat when you're being a total unruly American in Europe and getting ready to get arrested. You throw on your Canada hat.
Hey, Joe.
Yo.
If you can't beat them, buy them. CZ making the move. He's talking about buying banks. Fucking, what have we said all along? We said either the centralized exchanges will be bought by banks because that's where the money's going to flow, or they're going to buy banks. Imagine he buys a bank in every major, economic center of the world.
You still got to get approved, though.
Of course you got to get approved, but you go into
I like the move. I'm not faulting it. I like the move.
You want one in the federal system that's small and local to some little community. Snatch it up, buy it up, and run. I mean, it's not like he doesn't have the money to back the bank. It's all going to be about solvency, right? Does he have the cash to do it? And then guess what? Then your bank is your crypto exchange, right? And I'm sure Binance US will be the US arm doing it, but it's just smart to me. And it's a way to turn, potentially turn regulators into partners, because if they see banking regulatory frameworks being integrated with the centralized exchanges, again, we want this to be DeFi based, but CZ has DeFi connected to not truly decentralized. Let me make sure before Sean has coronary in the pub.
We're saying pistachio.
Yeah.
What motherfucker, you're telling CZ and his centralization and bitching at me?
He's got a gateway to DeFi. Oh, fuck. I got to find that. I wanted to post this up. I completely forgot about it. The friggin' wallets and numbers for B&B right now are really fucking good compared to everybody else. I got to find that. I'll bring it up tomorrow. I found some awesome numbers on current wallet growth and daily transaction growth and everything else for Binance. But anyway, look, if you got the bank and you got the centralized exchange and you got the DeFi protocol, chain, if you got a chain, you get the whole goddamn thing. You got the finance system for the most part, right? And then you just grow it from there and you leverage the bank that you bought to buy the next bank. To me, it's just a really smart strategy. And I think the timing is perfect for it. So.
Yeah, I like it. I like the move, but, buying a bank, you got full criminal background checks. You got full finance checks. You got to disclose everything. U.S. bank. Okay. I'm talking about
Sure.
Probably Europe's the same way. So he's going to have to jump through. I would hope he would hire someone, again, crypto guys are going to hate me for this, but if he's going to do this, you hire like Goldman Sachs to work it for you.
Oh, he's already got those guys. He's got those guys. He's got the ex-FBI guys, the ex-SEC guys. He's been hiring all those dudes.
Yeah, but it's not like blatantly. That doesn't get you in automatically.
Of course not.
What I'm saying is that he's going to it's not going to be as easy as maybe people would think. I think it's a 3-year process at least.
Yeah, it's a 3-year process in the U.S., but he can start buying up.
But any other bank anywhere in
Virgin Islands, the Caymans, Europe,
there's no banks down there that can do that shit. Those are all Western banks. It's like, and
there's no native banks.
No, you're walking in with cash and crypto. No, can't do it.
No. What I'm saying is, are there like native Cayman Island banks? Are you saying they're?
Oh no, there are Cayman banks, but look, they will not let the API hook up to a main money center banking system without the know your customer AML pieces in place.
Sure,
they can't just strap in. So the thing is, he's going to have. Just having the cash is nothing. He has to pass all the checks. Of course.
So and that'll be true in any country.
Right. But the point is that he's not going to come in and remember what's Binance's market cap?
For the token?
No, let's just say it's 50 billion. What's Blackstone's assets under management?
Oh, I have no idea.
$10 trillion. Binance is a drop in the friggin' bucket. And I like the move, but it's not like he's going to come in and save the day. It's not like he's going to get it done any faster. I think the smarter play is, all these other fintechy type companies that are already strapped in, that have all these kind of like more gray area licenses. That's what I would go for.
He's doing both. He's buying up the virtual banks and the fintech companies. He's already done a couple of those. I think we talked about him a couple of weeks ago. And now he's saying banks. He's playing with $1 billion a year in acquisitions. So he's like, okay,
that's not going to get you a bank, but yeah, okay, I get your point.
Well, no, they can get you a small bank. You can get a small bank.
Not in the U.S. You'll never get one for that. It won't happen. I was on the other side of people buying U.S. banks about 12 years ago, and you just don't know how hard it is to do that. Binance, like the rest, have a gray history. There you go. Put up Sean's comment.
What did he say? Not the first change with Binance, like the rest, have a gray at best history. Difficult thing to get an EU or US bank. Yeah, look, I think it's difficult. I think you got to go through the motions and do it. But I think it's a smart strategy. And I agree with you, Joe, that going after the virtual banks acquisitions is good too. So, I'm good with either of those. But I think it makes sense to own pieces of the finance system. And I think it makes sense to try to buy the banks. Shizzy says it's going to be a regulatory nightmare for Binance. The powers that be will fight this until the death, because if not, it will be the death of most banks if they don't. I agree with that as well. But I still think it's a smart thing to do.
It's a smart thing to try. I agree.
Yeah, absolutely. Do I have anything else? Oh, that's another article on the bank buying.
Look,
Hetzner, we talked about Phantom. I'm out. I'm done.
When look, when obviously making all the noise about buying banks back to CZ is a float the balloon move. Okay, he's trying to see. No, it's absolutely what this is. He wants to see who's going to come back hard on him because, first of all, any bank goes in play and Binance is showing up trying to buy it, somebody else is going to outbid them and buy it.
Yeah, that's possible.
Yeah. So, I mean, because he has as Sean's politely put it, a gray background.
Yeah.
Okay. And, and then all the China connections and stuff like that too. I mean, that's just going to put the regulators in berserk mode. So I like it because I think we want to see a fusion into traditional finance of crypto. I don't know who it is who's going to win that. I don't really care. I just want somebody to win it so that we have mainstream adoption. So all of this stuff. So I'm not like pissing on CZ's vision or his dream. I'm just trying to give a little bit of a reality check to what it takes to do it. But I like the move as well. So don't get me wrong on that.
It's all good, man. It's all good. I'm calling up my pal CZ shortly and let him know what a dick you're being to him.
Yeah, well, tell him I also know all the advisors. That could help him. He's got a lot of money floating around. I just take 10 BTC for the hookup fee. That's it.
Yeah. Listen, I have a solution to all of Twitter's revenue problems, but nobody's listening to me yet.
Let's hear it.
The reason Twitter is so abysmal revenue-wise, I tweeted this yesterday. Let me find that tweet. The reason they're so abysmal revenue-wise is because their ad platform is the biggest piece of shit UI UX of any ad platform I've dealt with online in 20 years. It is absolute garbage. The average small business person can't use it to target their customers. There's all this incredibly powerful targeting data available to you in the back end of Twitter. And I know people who are experienced ad buyers who just say, fuck it, I'm not booking on Twitter because it's a pain in the ass. Down to like even the promote a tweet thing, right? They have this whole, you tweet something and at the bottom it says promote this tweet. You go to click that tweet to promote it. All you can do is target men or women in a specific country. I don't even think you could target that much. It is absolutely stupid. Every part of the interface is bad. Every part of the user experience is bad. Understanding and trying to figure out how you target people. The back end is a total nightmare. The front end that they're trying to make simple isn't enough. I'm telling you, they could dramatically improve their revenue if they just fixed their fucking UI and UX for booking an ad. Because here's the cool thing too, is they could become a really strong ad content marketing platform. Because I mean, the beauty of it is everybody now is creating their own podcasts and their own YouTube channels, right? And they're creating useful content. So instead of people advertising with ads, normal ads, or those shitty ass ads we get now in the interface that are clickbait for, websites with 4 million shitty ads on them and malware, people could be posting content and boosting that on Twitter. And if they just made it easy enough for a small business person to do it like Facebook does, like YouTube does, like Google AdWords is, they would make a shit ton of money, a shit ton of money, but it's just garbage. I challenge anyone to go in and try to set up for your business targeted high performance ads in the Twitter backend interface because it's a joke. So,
well, can I ask a question? When you know this, you've been in this Twitter thing for 10 plus years. I'm pretty much a noob, but I kind of got the feeling that people don't like the promoted ads, the promoted tweets.
They don't, but that's my whole point. They still respond to them. They still click them, right? If you target the right person. It's like that ad I got the other day for like, this is how bad targeting
69?
is. Yeah, that's it. No, the ad I got the other day for are you thinking about your fall fucking wardrobe? Well, guess what? On the back end of Twitter, I can, if I can figure out their UI, because I've climbed into it a dozen times, I can actually find out that, oh, fuck, Brad will never shop for his wardrobe because I can look up his credit card data and aggregate, and I can look up where he lives and what he buys and what he shops for, and I can marry it to it. But instead, of targeting me correctly, they wasted an ad impression on me, right? Had the system on the back end of Twitter been better, they could have said, you know what? I want to target everyone that follows this guy that advises people on their fashion choices, right? That's the people they should be targeting with the ad. To give me an ad about go shopping, I know you're thinking about your fall wardrobe. I'm not that guy. Never going to be that guy. Why are you wasting your ad impressions on me? But it's just a matter of their interface sucks.
Also, we don't have fall wardrobes down here.
Well, the other thing.
90 degrees
how about
yesterday.
the fact that I'm in fucking Miami? That was the other thing that I tweeted about. I'm in Miami.
We don't wear tweed in November.
Yeah, I don't think about it. It's not on my mind. Yeah, this is the tweet I did. It's just this horrendous, bad interface. Just bad.
Well, it seems to me, I've been hearing about a lot of changes going on at Twitter, like everybody else, of course, trying to get new revenue lines, the blue check fee or whatever, $20 a month.
Yeah, $8 a month now.
A couple other things, I mean, I don't know what the blue check thing is. Is it supposed to be a better account because it's actually
no, it's supposed to be verified. See, this is where he's fucking up because the blue check mark is meant for keeping people who are verified as famous verified so that people don't get scammed by people that duplicate their profile.
Right. I've run into that a lot. Yeah.
That's the whole point of it. And see, look, I'm not even getting the promote this tweet fucking button anymore.
I see a button right there. I see a black button right there. Above reply.
You're right. Oh, they changed it. Right. So here we go. Let's see if they've improved it. Maybe Elon's made it better. So you can choose to increase your engagement or grow your followers. So let's say I want to grow my followers. I can target location. Whoops. And I can target age range and I can target gender. Seriously? Okay. Gender, age range, location. Oh, and I can give them the budget and how long I want it to run. And that's it. It doesn't say, do you want to target people that follow Brad Nickel? Do you want to target people that, the power of Twitter is, who your target audience is. Like if I'm booking an ad for DeFi Lunch, who am I targeting? I want to target people that follow, Nick Dracone or Bankless podcast or, any other podcast or YouTube channel. Do they give me the option to do that? Nope. All I get to pick is man, woman, age, and what country they're fucking in.
What else I find funny though, Brad, is it says, how much do you want to spend? Oh, I want to spend $500 million. Okay, here's your ad. One ad.
Yeah.
I want to spend $5. Here's your one ad. It's like, how do you know? I mean, that's like saying,
what does it get? What am I getting for my $500?
Yeah, exactly.
What am I getting?
Tell me what I get and how much that costs. Don't tell me.
So for $500 over 5 days, they tell me I'll reach 830 men in the United States with nothing else, right? Between whatever ages. So
is that 830 impressions or engagement?
They don't tell you.
Okay.
It's just this, and this is the simple interface. This is the one that's supposed to get every small business to use it. Now go look at fucking Facebook's ad booking. Oh, who do you want to target? Where do they live? What kind of jobs do they do? Do you want to target people that follow these kinds of people? Do you want to target people that have liked this? Do you want to target people that shop for high fashion at Saks Avenue? I mean, but they guide you through it, right? Twitter just blows it. Now, what's going to happen to the businessman that spends his $500 and nothing fucking happens? Never going to do it again. Twitter sucks. Their ads suck.
Yeah.
Now go climb into the back end of Twitter's ad system. It is a nightmare. And I have used ad systems for 2 decades. It is a total nightmare to figure out. It's just the absolute worst. In Miami, you can wear your white leather shoes after Labor Day. And fashion is shit since Miami Vice. There you go. That's all I wear. A pink sport coat and a white t-shirt.
Are you Tubbs or Crockett?
Both. I'm both.
No, I mean, I've looked at this, but honestly, I could go into any chat where people are brawling, whether it's economics or it's Russia, Ukraine, or Iran or China and something, and just go into a chat and comment, with some, not like you guys are a bunch of dicks, but just something like, a historical thing. and you get like 14,000 impressions.
Yeah.
Just for doing that. Maybe you get 5 or 6 engagements, but those are very low engagement posts, but you get tons of impressions. So I don't really get why. I mean, I don't really understand. It seems hit or miss because I don't feel like anybody's post is waiting for me to open my device and look, and it's just sitting there. Hey, Brad. Oh, wait, no, except for Brad, because I do get a notification of his. But I don't get I think it's hit or miss still where the feed is and where you are and when you're scrolling. I don't see him queuing up for me.
Yep. Well, look, here's the thing. I know how to book an ad that targets decently in Twitter, but the amount of work that it takes to do it, it's like, look, I should probably be booking, $50, $100 a week for our shows, but it's a pain in the ass to do it. And they make it a pain in the ass to do it. So have I done that? No. And
when it should be the easiest thing to do.
Nobody on that team has thought about the average small business user who could represent billions of dollars like they do for Facebook. Like that's the revenue, right? And especially for content, because every business now is getting into content. Everybody uses Twitter for their news, Twitter for their search engine, Twitter for everything. I guarantee you their revenue could skyrocket if they just got shit together on their UX. So anyway, end of non-DeFi rant, but
but he's got his challenges. I mean, everybody's pretty much saying Twitter's worth $10 to $12 billion. He overpaid by 400%. So now he's got to turn it around and get some revenue going and, not have it descend into, where everybody leaves basically.
But here's my thing with the people that are in it and the way as much content is in it and as addictive as it is, I think it's easily worth $250 billion, right? It's just a matter of leveraging it. And it's leveraging it for ads. It's leveraging it for subscriptions. I mean, there's just a shit ton of opportunities here. And I'd love to own Twitter, right? I mean, obviously I can't, but I would love to own Twitter because I think the opportunity is gigantic, just fucking gigantic. Think about how much news breaks out of Twitter. Think about how much engagement Twitter gets, how passionate people are about what people say on Twitter. Think about how pissed off people are when somebody gets banned or suspended from Twitter. It is becoming the place where everybody goes. And so from my perspective, it has the potential to surpass all of the networks. It's just a matter of fostering it.
But also the one thing I don't see in Twitter is that I don't see the under 30s. They're on the other platforms, but they're more on TikTok. They're more on Snap. They're more on all the other platforms. Too.
TikTok and Snap dominate for that age group, but my son and his friends are on Twitter every day. They're just not as engaged because there's not dedicated video content. The one thing I heard Elon say the other day that would be smart is they're going to bring back Vine, which Vine was ahead of its time. It was TikTok and they blew it. Totally blew it because they killed it. And they shouldn't have, because it was the future and they could have been ahead of everybody. They totally blew it. But if he brings back Vine, that'll be really smart. That'll drive a lot more engagement. Niblet says Zuckerberg should have offered $50 billion and connected its ad platform to Twitter. Yeah, would have blown up, as well as their algorithm. But
that might have been a hard one to get approved too, though. With all the antitrust stuff.
That's true.
That might have been a hard one to do too.
That's true.
But look, I want to see him turn it around. I want to see it because I see all the potential here.
Yeah.
What I like is the sort of, the kind of the closed loops that you can do. Like, I got some stuff coming in on, macro data. I got other stuff coming in on, say, airdrops. I got other stuff coming in on, say, particular tokens. So, you can kind of get these custom feeds on just the stuff you want to see. And I'll be honest too, dude, when I want to see anything on, like, say, Ukraine, I actually just go into Twitter now and just type in like Curson or something.
It becomes your search engine.
Yeah. Because there is all that content there that, you just don't see because it's not going to everyone. But when you get into those information loops, then you find everything you could possibly want.
Well, that's why I use lists, man. I mean, you
told me about that. That's right.
Yeah, I use the fuck out of lists. I mean, look, I have private lists and I have public lists. I have VIPs, I have venture capitalists, I have bots, I have big DeFi projects. I have early stage investors. I have things that we covered in DeFi Lunch. I have people that promote strategies, DeFi tools. I have specific, I mean, there's a lot of power in Twitter, a lot of power and a lot of potential.
Because you can aggregate or I'm sorry, compartment your feeds. That's what I think is cool. You don't have to come in and look at everything.
I never look at my homepage. I never look at the homepage of Twitter. Never. Don't look at it. I only use notifications.
Yeah.
I follow a select group of people. I turn on notifications for somebody if I follow them right when I follow them, and I watch. And if after a few days I don't see anything of quality, I look at their profile to decide whether I want to follow and notify. But if they're not hitting it, they get the notifications turned off or they get unfollowed. But lists and notifications are the most efficient way for me of using Twitter. I don't even look at the homepage. The algorithm doesn't even know I exist most of the time. So
yeah, no, I'm very rarely there. That's true. Because I go through like New York Times and Washington Post, and then I look at like the Google News aggregator real quick just to make sure I'm not missing anything. But you know, when you want to find something more obscure, let's just say like I've been, following the, Gen Z Iranian revolution a lot lately and what's going on there. And, you just don't see it hardly at all in any of our feeds, but they are tens, if not hundreds of thousands of people marching in the street every night. And they've already killed like 37 kids, Iranian, but, nobody's hearing about it.
Nobody's covering it.
And so, you get a little bit whenever, there's a dust up on oil price or something, then maybe you'll see a little bit. But to me, that's probably the most profound thing going on right now in the world.
Yeah. Yeah. And a lot of people don't use search enough on Twitter. I mean, there's a ton of potential there between search, notifications turn on notifications of the people you follow that you want to hear from, and then lists. That's the ideal for me. That's the ideal Twitter experience.
Well, the cool part is, again, news is that a lot of the feeds that the posts are coming from the same outlets that you would read somewhere else.
Exactly.
So like New York Times post stuff, Foreign Policy post stuff, CSIS. I look at their stuff a lot. They post, and then you get all the guerrilla dudes out there. I mean, guerrilla reporter types, the ones that are embedded, say, with the protesters in Iran or embedded with Ukrainian forces. So you get all of this real-time feeds coming from them in the field, and then you look at that to see, is that real or not? And then you pick the people that look real, and then you watch them, and then you compare that source content to other content you see in other things to determine what's actually accurate. It's much better than just being passive and having, let's see what's there.
Absolutely.
When you search, you find all the shit usually first. If you go over and just do a browser search, let's say.
Yeah.
And I like that. That's what I find very entertaining. But it's, you gotta be careful not to get, keyed up on shit. Not you, I'm saying.
Yeah. Everybody. And don't forget saved searches. You can do a search and save it, so it becomes like a list. I would prefer they merge the ability to have lists and searches and hashtags all together in lists. Like I want to be able to put in lists people like, so here's my crypto legal list, right? It's a bunch of attorneys that I like and follow in the crypto space. And every time something regulatory or legal comes up, first place I go is here because I know they're all going to be commenting. But what I also want in here is to be able to tag, hashtag crypto regulations, hashtag names of bills, whatever. And I want to be able to save searches over here. So what I love is for all three of those things to feed into one, and then me be able to filter them within the list. I don't know if that's where lists are headed, if it ever will, but right now lists are just tweets from people that you put into the list. So anyway, all right. Cool. So good job, Joe. Niblets, Sean, Shizzy, Euphoric, Amen. Thank you. Thank you for participating. Thank you for being here. We love you guys. We appreciate you being here every day. If you're listening to us on the podcast, please take a minute in Apple Podcasts or Spotify and rate and review us and follow/subscribe. Tell friends about us. They're really missing out, I think. If you're on YouTube, Click that, smash the thumbs up. I think Shizzy is the proper terminology. Smash the thumbs up, click the subscribe button, and click the little bell so you get notified. And we would love your comments on any of our videos. If you'd like to join in and get engaged in the community of big brain folks that are smarter than me and Joe, join us at r/Mission DeFi. That's our Reddit, where everyone is chit-chatting about projects, etc. That's all I got, Joe.
Yeah, great day, great session. Looks like the U.S. equities are recovering. I think NYSE is a tad bit up, but they're all off minor amounts. Europe looks like it's coming back a little bit. Nikkei futures are up. BTC is still above 20. ETH is still about 1550. So I think we're looking okay.
Cool.
So I feel good. We'll see what happens by tomorrow. We'll see how Asia does tonight. But I think we withstood another 75 bips hike without much blood in the water. But anyhow, everybody have a great day. I look forward to seeing everyone tomorrow. And